Hi everyone, it's me, Heffa. So I have here with me a nice piping hot cup of chamomile. So please join me in our tea chat. So if you could please pause this video, go grab yourself a nice hot cup of tea or hot coffee, only warm beverages in this motherfucker, and then get your ass back here so I can start this fucking video, bitch. Psych, it's empty, bitch. It's all for the aesthetic, that YouTuber aesthetic. Okay, check please, right? Someone monetize me. At the time I'm recording this, I've got 420 subscribers. 420, am I right? Yeah! And I'm gonna have less than 420 after this goes live. So my good booktube Judy, Hélène at Books by Leynes, decided to publicly drag me. I'll get you back, bitch. Thank you so much for mentioning me in your video. And you're like blowing up, sidebar, like, okay. But she mentioned that I never really made a video talking about my taste in literature or, you know, favorite books of mine or anything like that, which she's right. I will literally read anything. I think that stems from me just as a kid loving the library, and I would literally just go to the library and I'm attracted to color, and I would just grab, like, you know, this book's bright and colorful, and I would just pick anything. And that could be like, you know, in the nonfiction section. I read a lot of adult mysteries in high school. You know, YA, obviously I was all over that YA book life. And then also growing up and pretty much buying my books only from used bookstores and thrift stores. I really like going through and digging through shit and finding something weird. I will read anything, bitch. So if you think I got standards, you're sorely mistaken. I don't really gravitate towards classics, but I'm an English major, so that content will be here on this channel. And of course, like, I don't gravitate towards it, but I do enjoy classics when I read them. If I had to name my favorite books off the top of my head, I would probably say Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. I feel like I need to explain myself every time because, yeah, this is the most Caucasian book to ever Caucasian. Like, the whites are at it again, okay? I read it at a time when I was breaking free from my super Christian upbringing, and I was finding what spirituality meant to me. I love reading about spirituality. Bitch, I've got the Idiot's Guide to Zen Living on my freaking shelf, so I love that shit. I love that shit. So, and I need to read more books about that. I'm trying to be fucking, you know that meme with like the mind? I'm trying to be that bitch. So the next book that off the top of my head is total 5 stars that I read a few years ago is Life of Pi by Yann Martel. I freaking love this book. It's about a boy that gets shipwrecked and he's the only survivor, and he gets stuck on a boat with a tiger because there was a bunch of zoo animals on the boat. And he gets lost until further notice, bitch. You know, I didn't realize this, but I think this is a theme for me because Pi is a very religious person, but he believed in, you know, Krishna and Jesus and, you know, this God and that God. So he kind of like took a bunch of religions and decided to believe in all of them as a kid. So I think learning about those different religions and his thought process and how he can believe in all of them was so interesting. Religion just fascinates me so much, and that was just like an extra little like, here you go, girl. And I was like, thanks. A book that I love, I just want to throw in a nonfiction pick in there that I freaking loved that I read recently, is The Rap Yearbook by Shea Serrano. This book is amazing. It goes through all the years of rap and hip hop, and it takes one song from every year, the most groundbreaking song or the most influential song to the future of hip hop, and breaks it down. So it goes from 1979 to, I believe, 2015. I went through this book and I listened to every song, and then he references other songs, and I really felt like I was doing like a research paper on hip-hop. I love hip-hop, so I felt like this is stuff that I should know. The Rap Yearbook by Shea Serrano. Get your life. I have to mention this one because it's also one of my favorites, A Million Little Pieces by James Frey. This is a very controversial book and author because once he got picked for the Oprah's book club for this book, he gained a lot of popularity, and this book was marketed as a memoir of a man going to rehab for alcoholism and crack addiction. So basically, thanks to Oprah, we find out that 80% of this book is completely fabricated. I didn't know that there was all this drama behind this book until after I read it, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then I Googled the book, and I was like, whoa, what's all this drama? Like, I don't really care if it was a memoir or not. This is amazing writing. His writing style is definitely not going to be everyone's zhuzh because he doesn't like commas. He doesn't use commas. So yeah, you have to read sentences over sometimes. He's a mess. And just the lack of commas and like the lack of grammar just adds to that tension almost. It's like I'm in his head. And James Frey's other books are the same way. And a little controversial, but this book was chosen by Oprah for a freaking reason, okay? It is good. Another book that I love is This Is Dali. I don't know the author's name. I'll put it in the description below along with the other books that I mentioned. But I loved this. This is another like illustrated nonfiction book, and it's almost graphic novel-y, but I love reading about art. I can't believe I haven't mentioned that. Salvador Dali is like my favorite artist, and he was a character and a half, girl. This is also part of a series. Like they have This Is Pollock, like Jackson Pollock and other artists, but I haven't read those. I just read the Dali one. But I would love to read about the other artists that they have in that series. So basically, as we've learned from this video, I don't have a taste in books. I'm interested in everything. And even though I don't gravitate towards things like horror, thriller, fantasy, or classics, when I do read those things, I end up loving them. I can almost guarantee that every video will just be a hodgepodge of books with no theme whatsoever, just random shit that I find on the free book cart at school or in a thrift store for $1. You know, that's my taste. Cheap and dirty thrift store books. That's my zhuzh. That's my brand. So thank you guys so much for watching. I just love chatting with you guys over a nice cup of tea. So let's keep the discussion going, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Hope you guys have a lovely, cozy rest of your day. And as I always say, love and light.